Used to bag work about an apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? Y'all to the Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad up here in effect with me today. I got my man DJ Rec One. What's going on, Rec?
What's going on, man? How y'all feeling?
Oh man, everything is great. Got my brother Ev from the writers bench. What's going on, good brother?
Here for the controversy, baby. Here for the controversy.
The show we got Ev out, man. We got Ev out. Nick, what's going on, bro?
What's going on? Go Philly, man. Let's stop the evil empire.
Please. I didn't tell nothing, man. Everywhere I go, people in the hood be stopping me. Redskins stopping me like, yo, y'all got to do it. I'm like, all right, yeah, we gonna get it popping. Vague, I know you ain't smiling, even though the Eagles Super Bowl. So you gonna smile if we win, man?
I can't, man. I'm down with Cap. I'm boy.
Oh, okay. No doubt.
God bless you, man.
I will say,
you are a man of the power, because I don't care what the fuck the NFL did.
Man of my word, man.
I'm watching.
That shit bothers me. I got 2 sons, man. That shit bothers me.
I understand.
That's real.
But I will say
this.
Why would my team make the Super Bowl?
Yeah, when you boycott
the goddamn
Shit, too.
Bruh, like I said, man, I commend you, because I don't care what the NFL did. They could have assassinated Chuck D. I'm watching.
God.
I salute that.
Yeah, I salute it too, because I tell you, if we win, man, I'm going to be a Philly acting a goddamn fool. So I know that, man. And my brother Vern, what's going on, good Vern?
Man, I'm just happy to be here. Glad to be with some good brothers.
No doubt. Y'all know it. Let's jump right into it. If y'all follow me on Twitter, then y'all should know I start so much controversy. So this week, what went down, Nick hit me up on Saturday. I'm at my niece's birthday party and everything. And he just hits me with a simple tweet. Yo, Black Thought is finally doing an EP produced by Ninth Wonder. I simply replied, Ninth wouldn't be my first choice. Bam! Here come. I call them the Swallows.
The Swallows.
Here come the Swallows. You know, back in the day, I used to say spitting was for quitters. Spitters for quitters. Now no, spit it out. Stop swallowing. But let's keep this 13. So they come out to woodwork, put some respect on his name, and Ninth has done this. And I'm like, dog, all I said was I didn't think he would be the number one. You know, and then I went on to say, you know, when Cat and there are some people I respect who feel this way, and we still need to have this conversation, who say things like, you know, the Mount Rushmore producers is Dilla, Pete Rock, Primo, and Ninth Wonder. And I'm just like, nah. Like, Ninth doesn't belong there. And again, I want to be clear, this isn't a knock on Ninth. You know, I'll take it to the point of where they did this a couple of years ago with Steph Curry, who's my favorite NBA player. After he did his like back-to-back MVP season, like they were talking about him being a top 5 point guard above Isaiah Thomas. And it's like, nah, stop. Like, that's not, you know, now y'all just running with it. And that's what I mean. Steph is my favorite player, but he ain't above Zeke. That's disrespectful. Yeah. And that's all I was saying about Ninth. Like, yo, if you're saying, that means you're saying he's above the Bomb Squad and Marley and not like, it's not that. But we all know what these Swallowers, if you don't agree with them, then you hating and everything else. So one of the cats asked me, was like, well, okay, well, who's your top tier producers? Like, since Ninth isn't in that tier, where is he? So again, I got the idea. That's why one of the reasons why I hang out with, you know, I call them the fuck boys, is because, you know, like, I don't know if y'all felt like this as a kid, but, you know, sometimes Hey, man. I got a wild dude.
You know the fuck boys gonna be watching.
No.
Yo, my new reply is hashtag stop swallowing. After about 10 of those replies, either you really do swallow, or you gonna be like, all right, I'm beating the devil. But we on my block in Philly, and you know, we be bored, cats may be wherever. You just go outside with the little kids and play quarterback for them. You know, just play with them. No, sir. That's what I do. You know, so, and Nick and Vegas are the two people who are like, yo, stop giving these dudes any attention. But here's the thing. Sometimes I do it because some of them are young and need to be educated. There have been a couple of cats who have been like, damn, Kill, I didn't know that. You know, whatever. Two, sometimes I try to do it because I love arguing. You know, this show started arguing all the time. And the great thing about this show is most of the times we don't argue up here. Even when we don't agree, there's a certain respect factor. So I miss arguing. So sometimes I do it just to get and then three, like I said,
do you?
What happened?
All right.
Number three, like I said, I do sometimes like throw the football with the fuck. So we are going to be talking about our top tier of producers, why we picked them, whatever. I love the show because just for the simple fact we're looking at totally different people. I know me, Ev, and Rec do production. Ev is an MC, Vegas is an MC, you know, so they may hear different things. I like to call Vern and Nick civilians. They love hip hop, they love the culture. They don't do anything, they just enjoy it. So you get to hear from different perspectives. I wouldn't want to just get 6 producers up here all talking producer jargon that may be over some people's heads. And throughout the show, I'm gonna try to break down a little bit the technicalities of what these producers are doing, because cats have been asking me those questions too. So let's jump right into it. Tony, you with us? Can you hear us this time?
Yeah, I'm good, player.
What up,
Tony, building. What's going on, brother? All right. So I'm gonna start off with my first tier. Number 1, I'm going with Premier. DJ Premier, and these are in no order. Well, I can tell you this. Dilla is my number 1. Primo is my number 2. They go back and forth all the time. It's like Zeke and AI. They go back and forth all the time. After that, it's kind of up in the air. Primo. The reason why Primo is there, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the first people to use jazz samples. I first heard, Manifest in '89. I'm in 9th grade. The jazz sample, the Night in Tunisia. He didn't get stuck in the jazz samples. A lot of people got stuck there and they could never move out of that. He's always had his own sound, which in my opinion has eventually come up to bite him in the ass because he has his own sound. There's really not a lot of diversification with it. His scratches, they were just the staple of hip hop, is to the point that I've seen people use Primo just for the scratches and not even for the production. Also, one of the biggest things with Preem is his chopping game. This was something that I went back and forth with a lot of cats about with the word chopping. We all have different definitions. Chopping to me is where sometimes you can take a sample and not even know it. We used to do this show up at 88.9 called Milk Crates, where we play the original and then play who used it. With Primo, a lot of times you can't do that. I play Primo samples for people. They're like, I don't hear it. You know, I don't, where is it? 9 times out of 10, any other producer, and this is not a knock on them, because if you go through all my beats, 98% of my beats are just loops. If you play the original, you'd be like, that's where Pete got it. That's where Skeet got it. That's where whoever got it. So Primo is one of them dudes where you can't just do that. Also with Primo, his longevity. He's been in this game from 89, and to me, he was still hit very well into the 2000s. He brought back legends. Rakim and KRS to me were dead in the water until they got with Premier, so this dude has brought back legends. And then on top of that, he's worked with the 3 dopest MCs to me of this latter part of hip hop, with Nas, JC, and Biggie, and giving them some of their best stuff. Pete is the next up. Pete rocks. He's the remix king. I don't think you can even think of SP1200 without thinking about Pete Rock. Like, he's like the face for that shit. Like, he should be like what Jordan is for Nike, that should be for like Pete Rock for drum machines. Same thing with records. And what I feel Pete did from the creativity part of it, he was one of the first people, if I'm not mistaken, he actually found out that the S950 could filter. Now what filtering is when you could take a sample and you take the high end out and you just get all low. So you're making a bass line. So whenever you'd hear like there's always going to be bass in a record, but he learned how to filter on the S950. Also the multi-pitch mode, if I'm not mistaken, nobody was using that on the SP before Pete. That is where you could have the echoing horns where Pete would be able to go like dun, 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 and it would echo out. That's multi-pitch. That's all Pete Rock. Maul. the longevity, 84 to 91. This dude started off with Roxanne Shante. I'm in the 4th grade, y'all. You know, until 91 when Mama Said Knock You Out. I'm in the 11th grade. This dude was banging niggas in the head from the 4th grade to when I was in the 11th grade. Through all types of production periods. He had one of the illest crews with the Juice Crew. They had produced the dopest posse with the Symphony. He was one of the first producers who started to chop. When people were just looping up break beats, he was one of the ones who found out by accident, but hell, most of these people did this by accident, that you could just take the snare from Impeach the President and the kick from Funky Drummer and replay it yourself, which everybody does now. Not to mention, during those times, he messed with the 3 dopest producers, MCs of that time with Rakim. A lot of people don't know he did Eric B for Rakim and did My Melody. And he also was with Kane and G-Rap. So he produced 3 of the dopest MCs at that time. Dilla. If y'all watch the Dilla episode, y'all already know. This dude, drums. Dilla was so dope. This dude made jazz musicians. And if y'all don't know, jazz musicians are the most bougiest, stuck-up musicians in the world. Because they have been classically trained. They will look down on another musician like, oh, he just learned how to play in the church. He don't know how to read. Jazz musicians are the bougiest musicians. Dilla has jazz musicians trying to relearn how to play drums like him. That right there, to me, says enough about what Dilla did. Not to mention, he's the only producer, to my knowledge, who has been able to take a style that everybody bit. Everybody, Jill Scott, Touch of Jazz, they all sounded like Dilla. He was able to say, you know what? Take that, keep it. I'll go over here and start doing my donut stuff. You know what I mean? He's the only producer, in my opinion, who's been able to say, here, take a style, and I'm going to recreate another style and still have niggas bite that too. RZA, soul samples. If y'all like Just Blaze and Kanye West, it's all RZA. You know what I mean? He's the originator. Nick always says it. He has one of the dopest runs in hip-hop of his production. And also because he had to produce for such a diverse group of MCs. Like Jizza is not Meth, who's not Ghost, who's not Ray. And he was able to do that flawlessly. Not to mention his drums being not quantized. He was one of the first people to come with like that sloppy sound. Dre, Dr. Dre is my 6th. There's kind of asterisks by him because of the ghost producers he's had. When I talk about Dre, I'm talking Dre 89 to 93. So I'm talking straight out of Compton to Doggy Style. Because that's the only period I know that it was Dre. I know people who said, oh, what's his name? Corrupt did the beats. Well, when I hear Corrupt shit, it don't sound like Dre shit. So I'm going to throw that out the window. After Doggy Style, what happened?
You mean Daz?
Daz. Not Corrupt. Thank you. Now, after Doggy Style, that's when I started to hear about Mailman and Scott Storch and him bringing another producer. So I'm talking about Dre through a specific time period, just because I just think Dre was extremely dope during that time. Even though I think he really borrowed a lot from the Bomb Squad, but I ain't gonna hold that against him. We all borrow from somebody. So again, my top 6: Primo, Pete, Marley, Dilla, RZA, and Dre, with a little technical piece behind it. No, I've been talking for a while, so let's get right into it. Vern, who are your top 6 and why?
All right. In no particular order, but first 6, Q-Tip. I'm gonna just say Midnight Marauders and Low End. Enough said. As much as it pains me, I gotta say, I ain't gonna say him second. I wait. Dr. Dre, The Chronic, that's the whole album. P-Rock made the greatest remix of all time. Shut him down. So he's there. Organized Noise brought the world Southern Playalistic. Marley Marl, I mean, like you said, his longevity, and my favorite song by LL, I think, is Around the Way Girl. I just like how it makes me feel. And then number 6, Kanye West, man. I mean, his first 3 albums, bro, I mean, I can't deny it. So that's my first 6.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. Nick, who you got up for yours?
Premier, same thing. He ran like a decade, 89 to about 99. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Just classic albums, gangsta. My list, you know, I put value in cats that produce whole albums. So that's why Premier is number 1 for me. The Gangstar joints, Group Home, J. Rue, Pete Rock, same reason. The Pete and CL stuff. The I&I, D-Dot, Baby Pie, even though it didn't come out, still dope. Soul Survivor, RZA, like you said, the 93 to 97 run, untouchable to me. Dr. Dre, early Dre, like you said, before the Ghost producers. Can't deny what he brought to the table. Q-Tip, 2 classics with Tribe. Influence, you know, Dilla to an extent. Got to put him on there. And for me, DJ Quick, man. He don't get the props he deserves to be. He always overshadowed by Dre, but I think what hurt Quick though was like kind of what hurt Dilla was the MCs he worked with weren't that great.
Yeah.
So his work didn't get a lot of attention that it should have.
I tell you this, also know what hurt Quick. Me and you talk about it all the time.
You East Coast cats don't like the Perm, the Rhythmalism album cover.
Motherfucker had the trench coat. Trench coat.
I'm like, I don't know if this R&B and hip hop, man. With no perm, looking like he in damn
with the silk shirt. Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, he looked like he was in Surface with Babyface. No, that ain't.
Surface, right?
Yeah, I've heard that a million times about Quick, so definitely respected him.
And one last thing before we move on. I know people like Pot's Machiavelli album. They talk about how it sounds roughly mixed. If people go, I don't like All Eyes on Me, but this like the clarity of it was because of DJ Quick. He had to go by his government, David Blake. He mixed most of that album, and that's why it sounds as good as it did.
Now, why do you have to go by his government? You know,
contract issues because he was with Profile Records. So he had to.
That's some Suge shit right there.
Yeah.
Under his
Suge Knight.
He couldn't even mix.
Nah, that's you gotta remember. Profile, I think if I'm correct, Profile is where NWA was at, right?
Nah, they was on Priority.
They was on Priority. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was on one of them.
I mean, I know you gotta get permission as an MC to MC on somebody else's album. I'm just like, damn, you can't even mix somebody else's album without.
Yeah, man, it was some contract issues. He had to.
He might not have been contracted as a
Yeah,
to
might
do
be
it.
some under the table stuff. But yeah, you'll see David Blake instead of DJ Quick in there.
Yeah. All right. No doubt. Ev, who you got, good brother?
Pretty much everybody that y'all already spoke on. Primo, Pete, Dilla, and I'm not gonna go on because I mean you pretty much already summed it up. Dilla, Dre, RZA. I just want to add one more thing with Tip. Tip was my number 6, but it wasn't in any kind of order. The reason why I don't think Tip gets enough shine. Tip is like 6 degrees of separation. He's like Kevin Bacon. He's touched almost everything. And I think one of the dopest stories with Tip is when you can walk into a Mobb Deep infamous recording session and the engineer quits and Tip gets in there and not only mixes and kind of reproduces that joint. And what we get now is because of Tip. You got to get that cat so much props. So I put Tip in there because he has an amazing ear and his sampling ability is pretty unparalleled.
Bruh, to speak on that, you know where Award Tour baseline came from?
Yeah, he said something about the
Don't Walk Away by Jay, dog.
Yeah, that baseline.
That's crazy.
That's the craziest shit in the world.
Everybody knows the bass line from what is it, Brooklyn Dodgers?
Yeah. Nobody knows the sample or the bass line.
They don't know where that shit comes from. So Tip is like he's that dude.
Yeah.
All right, I forgot real quick. Let's go back through this. Vern, for your people, who are like just one of your favorite songs from each of your producers?
Sure. I mean, for Q-Tip, man, I just said the whole album, Midnight Marauder, Kanye West, The College Dropout. I mean, I just love that album because at the time, hip hop was somewhere else, and that gave me that tribe feeling.
Bro, do you have the original College Dropout?
Tell me the difference.
I'll send it to you tonight. It's a big one.
All right. Pete Rock, I said Shut 'Em Down remix. Organized Noise, I playing listed that song, that encapsulated, that's Atlanta. Molly Mall, I just picked Around the Way Girl because I love the way the song makes me feel, man.
All right, no doubt. Nick, what about your top 5? Your 6?
6. Premier, I'll say The Realness from Group Home. Pete Rock, In the Flesh from the Main Ingredient album. Dr. Dre, I'll say Little Ghetto Boy with the Donny Half joint. RZA would be Ice Water off of Raekwon. Always talk that shit right there. Check out the Rap Kingpin, the Black Jesus. That shit is flames. DJ Quick, Born and Raised in Compton. Q-Tip would be Q-Tip. Ooh, I say the Nas remix for the world. Is it what the world is yours? Yeah, Nas remix.
That's a dope pick. Man. What about you,
Primo, I'm going to say Up Against the Wall, Getaway Car remix from Group Home.
That was crazy.
From Pete, I'm actually going to say, well, somebody already say Shut 'Em Down remix?
I did, yeah. But you can say it too. That's the greatest remix ever to me.
That shit was fucking crazy. Dilla, I'm going to say, I say Players.
Hell yeah.
For, who am I at? Tip. Ooh, Tip is a hard one. That I don't know. I can't. It's hard to say with Tip. Going out there, I'll say off of since I was talking about Mobb Deep, I'll say Drink Away the Pain. Okay. And for RZA, did RZA do Verbal Intercourse?
Yeah.
No, not Verbal Intercourse. It's off of the Raekwon. It's off of that same album.
They did that whole album.
One of them joints off the album. I can't think of the track right now, but one of them joints off of Purple Tape.
All right, no doubt. Right, what you got, man?
Mine is almost identical to yours, man. Primo, Dre, Marley Marl, Pete Rock, the Bomb Squad, and Dilla. Okay. Favorite songs from those guys? Primo, man, shit. You could pick a fucking song. I don't care. Anything Primo. I give no fucks. Dre is Getting Funky, the DOC. If you don't know it, you don't know knowledge. It's crazy. Marley, I'm gonna go with the Symphony, man. Even though his Eric B work, I love the Symphony, man. Every time I play that shit, it just hits right. Pete Rock, I'm gonna give y'all a surprising one, man. And I snatched these drums a couple years ago, man. The #1 Soul Brother off the Soul Survivor album. That song to me is the epitome of everything Pete Rock is: bass lines, drums, sample, and lyrics.
Yo, even though we set it off with I Travel the Land with the SP in my hand.
Yo, that song alone, for those that are watching, if you don't know much about Pete Rock, his extended career, you need to go and check his solo work with him by himself with other artists. The Bomb Squad, I don't gotta say nothing about it. It is what it is. If you don't know, then you might want to go and check some shit. And Dilla, for everything that everybody said. As far as a song, Nag Champa, Like Water for Chocolate. That's a perfect song to describe Dilla. So that's what I'm going with.
All right, no doubt. So what you got?
Man, these top 6, I mean, I don't want to regurgitate the same thing, man, but got to go with Primo. To be honest, man, some of my favorite hip-hop songs are just done by Primo. I mean, just pretty much that simple. 10 Crack Commandments, the shit with Nas, Illmatic, Jay, The Evils. I mean, Primo brought the best out of some of my favorite MCs, man, so it's pretty much self-explanatory. Marley Marl is the father to most of these dudes' style, man. You know what I'm saying? He's the first cat who was really doing full albums for these artists. You know what I'm saying? He would do Biz full album. He'd do Kane full album. He'll do it, whatever. So Shan album, whatever. So I'm gonna say Marley Marl. My favorite Marley Marl beat, probably the Symphony, man. I mean, I just love that beat, man. Dilla can do everything. He can mimic everyone's style. Then he had his own style too. You know what I'm saying? So really, when I'm writing and vibing, I put that song Life on. I listen to Life instrumental, the joint did with Proof. You know what I'm saying? So that joint stay on repeat and Get This Money. You know what I'm saying? I like that joint. Pete Rock, man, he did Troy, dog. You know what I'm saying? But my favorite Pete Rock beat personally and song is he did a joint called No Fear with Leela James. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys heard it.
Yeah.
It's an amazing song, man.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, Straight Outta Compton to the Doggy Style, he was pretty much flawless. You know what I'm saying? So, and my favorite Dre song, I don't know, I think Lil Ghetto Boys and that joint on Snoop album, Pump It Up, Pump. I can't remember the name of the joint.
Pump! Yeah, with Malik.
Yeah. That's the joint with Malik from
Illegal.
Yeah, then finally, man, around my 6 hours, the RZA, of course. I always said RZA could be anywhere between 1 and 5 to me. RZA was amazing. Everybody bit RZA, sold joints after that. Who else did Cuban Links, Liquid Swords, and Iron Man all kind of like back to back? That shit amazing.
Crazy, dog.
So those are my top tier right there, man.
All right, no doubt. Vegas, what you got, man?
I got some of basically what everybody said. I got Dilla, Dre, Primo, Pete Rock, RZA, and Kanye. With Dilla, I was obviously like a late bloomer because there was a lot of beats that he did that I loved that I didn't even know he did them shits. Probably my favorite song from him is something. I mean, he got a ton of beats he did that I love, but something I discovered watching y'all podcast. What's the joint he did for Ray on Cuban Links 2? 10 Bricks.
Yeah, 10 Bricks.
Yeah.
I got a white label of that joint, man.
That joint is stupid.
Shit was serious.
That's one of them. That's one of them come out of retirement and start rhyming again beats. You just hear him and you're like, oh, God, like I got to put a verse on that. You know what I'm saying? Dre, you know, regardless of the whole ghostwriter thing, he still kind of puts his imprint on beats anyway. Whether he remix them or mix them down or whatever he does, and they still feel like Dre. The Compton album is a prime example of that, which was really good or excellent in my estimation as far as from a producer. My favorite track from Dre, I don't know, man, because I mean he got so many I like that he's done. So now I'm kind of getting into favorites territory. But I love Stranded on Death Row. And I think only because I didn't expect that type of beat on that album. So when it came and it was just so nasty, it was like, damn, this is more typical of an East Coast beat. You know what I'm saying? But Dre kind of killed that shit, and then all the MCs came through, and I'm pretty sure he made sure that shit was perfect before it was finalized. Primo, you know what I'm saying? Primo, I mean, I was a big Gangstar fan. Then think about the songs that he did with Big, Jay, and Nas, and how them shits were crazy every time he worked with them. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of keeping their street credibility in order. Probably my favorite beat, which is probably not the best beat from Primo, but it's Mass Appeal. I love that fucking track, man. It's just so fucking 90s wintertime Tim's hoodie. You know what I'm saying? It's just really, well, today, but it's really nostalgic. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you watch the video with Guru with the snorkel on and shit in the snow. Like, that's 90s hip hop. That's what old heads be getting mad at when they see y'all little yachties and shit. They be like, yo, man. We look dangerous. Y'all don't look dangerous at all. Who else had? Pete Rock. Pete Rock was the man. You know what I'm saying? Back then, like with the remixes. Basically, you guys said mostly everything I can say. I can name a number of songs. Shut 'Em Down remix. The Das Effects joint. What was it? Just a Man.
Real hip hop.
Huh?
Which one? Real hip hop.
Nah, not that.
Just a Man joint.
Just a Man remix.
Okay.
The Jump Around remix with House
Yeah.
You know, all the dope joints he did. Probably my favorite is probably The Creator, because I didn't know about P Rock and CeeLo Smooth until I heard that record. And I just remember the way them fucking drums hit. They just sound like, it don't matter if you listen in headphones, in the car, whatever. They kind of got a boom to them shits. RZA. I mean, Into the 36 Chambers, what can you say? Iron Man, you know what I'm saying? Supreme Clientele. I mean, damn near every beat on it was hot. I don't know if he did every beat. Only Built for Cuban Links, you know what I'm saying? The Liquid Swords. Even Tikal. Even though Tikal was somewhat of a letdown, the production was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I like the production. I just didn't like most of the songs. But, yeah, RZA's another one. Then I got Kanye because for some of the same reasons, man. Like those first 4 albums to me. Hold up.
You count 808, so you skipping that one.
I ain't talking about that 808 shit.
Okay.
That was after My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, right?
Right before.
Okay, so skip over 808 and then go to that. But you know, again, another person, regardless if he did everything, just the things he did touch that we know, and the things we know he supervised, and just his willingness as a producer to not even on some ghost producer stuff, but to sit down with a RZA or somebody else and work on beats on his album just told me this dude really cares about his craft. You know what I'm saying? And I really admire how deep he gets into it, because he's really he's not just trying to make hits, he's trying to be the best ever. And I kind of admire that about him. Favorite Kanye beat? I don't know, man. He just got so many that I like. I don't know. I couldn't really pick one, man, because he just got so many dope tracks. But yeah, I mean, you can pick anyone that you like from Kanye.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. A quick rundown of mine for Primo, Master Pill, Pete Rock, The Basement, Marley Marl, Road to the Riches, Dilla, Climax. That's my shit off of Fantastic. RZA, Ice Cream, and Dre, Deep Cover. So that's it for me. My second tier starts out with the Bomb Squad, PE. Most people already know to me, they were one of the few people to take chaos and make it sound beautiful. You know what I mean? There's a great book called Creative License. It goes into why an album like It Takes a Nation of a Millions could not be made today because of the sampling law, but very dope book to read if you're into that. Those dudes were able to literally blend hundreds of samples into one song. Like if you go to who sampled it and pick any fucking song, is literally gonna have at least 20 different songs that the Bomb Squad pulled from. Not to also mention that they gave Ice Cube, to me, my favorite Ice Cube album with America's Most Wanted, with that joint. Next up, I got Q-Tip, 2 classic albums under his belt, 1 very dope album with the first one, countless remixes. And Tip, I think one of the reasons he doesn't get mentioned a lot is because all those Tribe albums said produced by a Tribe Called Quest. I truly believe if they said produced by Q-Tip from the day, from day one, his name would be really mentioned a lot higher than what it is. And again, his drums. I mean, Tip's got some hard drums. Like, I don't know if people really pay attention, but Nick, you said it, Dad. Whose World is this remix is? His drums are crazy. Get Down remix by Craig Mack.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I almost said for mine.
Shit, the drums for Crooklyn Dodgers are fucking crazy.
Yeah, man.
Right. Extra P, based off of his remixes, he's the only person to me who took a Gangstar remix we Gotta Get Over and remixed it and did it better than Premier. That's the only person who's ever done it for me. He took the Stress remix. I mean, Stress, I hated that song. The original could not stand it. The video, look, I didn't know what the fuck was going on with the niggas in the snow, but when that nigga did the Stress remix, it was crazy. He studied under Paul C, who was one of the dopest producers who passed away. His name would be higher on my list if he had more credits, but he was killed early on in his career. A white dude who really understood a lot about breaks, and coming up under him, his production company is called Paul C, but SEA as a dedication to Paul C. Not to mention, to me, Breaking Abs is a classic album, and if the LP would have dropped when it was supposed to drop in 95 or 96, it would have been a classic also. Next up, we got The Alchemist. To me, he's the dopest producer for me, post 2000. He's got a million of different styles. Like, this dude's styles just go all over the place. He's put out countless albums. He puts out, I swear every day I see, like, literally once a month, there's something new out by Alchemist. He did the NYC grimy style with Mob and all them niggas. Them jetted back out LA. Now he's doing this LA thing. And more importantly than anything, he still fucks my head up. There's a lot of these producers who, once I started to produce, I won't hold you, kind of took the lackluster away a little bit. Like when I learned how to chop, it was like, oh, well, this ain't as, I don't know if I still looked at Pete and other producers as like, oh, because we didn't know how to do that. Now that you learn how to do that, it kind of may take a little luster away. Like, you see a nigga cross you over in the park, you like, damn, but then when you learn to do it, it's not as the same, like, the shine ain't there. But with Alchemist, this dude still screws up my head. Organized Noise, I think they are the dopest people who were able to make live instrumentation and samples flow together seamlessly. You never really knew it was a sample, never knew it was. I feel like the Roots' first album, you could tell there was no drum machine involved. Like, whereas with, Organized, you really didn't know. And with Outkast, you ain't know what was live, what was sampled.
System UI server. Low battery.
Vern, you good?
I gotta go plug up. I'll be back.
All right. But Yeah, the thing I didn't know what was a sample, what wasn't. Organized, they also did so much R&B stuff that was dope too. One of my favorite Organized joints is off the Set It Off soundtrack with that In Vogue song. To me, they kind of really brought In Vogue back from the dead with that song. Stuff.
That Don't Let Go. That's that high school for me, boy.
Yeah, Don't Let Go.
Memories.
In Vogue was kind of dead in the water until that joint came out. And then more than anything, I think one of the reasons why they can't kind of come back out, I know they put out an EP a couple of years ago. Not even a couple of years ago. I think maybe last year.
Yeah.
But so many people took their style and ran with it while they were like on the low. And I'll give y'all one good Justice League. To me, the Justice League.
Oh yeah.
Prime example of what Organized Noise was. So all that live drumming and samples and live instrumentation, I just think during the time that they kind of dipped, other people came up and kind of ran with it.
To their spot, yeah.
To their spot. Last with this, I'll go with Kanye. R&B. I mean, the thing with Kanye is I have a best of Kanye R&B mix and a Kanye best of hip hop mix. Like he did a lot for R&B just as much as he did for hip hop. They was both dope. To me, B is like one of his finest moments because I thought Kanye was dead in the water after that. Y'all already know that shit. With the deaf girl. So I really thought, like, when I heard The Corner, I was like, damn. And then I heard, Go. I was like, damn. And then I heard, Testify. And it just kept going with all the stuff. Yeah, with the deaf girl, when Cobb was holding up the car.
Come close.
Come close, yeah.
With the deaf girl.
With the Fat Albert clothes.
My bad. Go ahead.
Right. So, and then so many bangers he did for Jay, putting on other artists. I'm just always so fucked up that he didn't do Down and Out. Like that just stands like in the back of my head that he.
Moment of silence.
Huh?
Moment of silence.
Moment of silence when that dude is something because that would be the thing. Anytime somebody be like, "Who better, Just the Kanye?" In the early days, I'd be like, "Down and Out." So to find out he didn't do it, but I still got to put him on a list because I know he did countless. He did do songs. You know what I mean? And my favorite from them from Bomb Squad, Black Still in the Hour of Chaos. From Q-Tip, I Gotta Bite Nick with the Crooklyn Dodgers. I mean, no, you said the remix.
I said the Nas joint. Yeah.
Right. I gotta go with the Crooklyn Dodgers. Extra P, I'm going with the Stress remix. Alchemist Hold You Down with Prodigy. I think Prodigy annihilates that thing. Organized Noise, I'm gonna go with Players Ball, the remix. And with Kanye, I'm gonna go with Guess Who's Back, Scarface with Beans and Jay-Z. Love that beat. That's the first time because I always was saying Kenya. So that's the first time I was on South Street in Philly, and then he said Kanye West on the track. That was it for me. Vern, who's on your tier B? Your second.
All right, I'm going Bomb Squad. If I had to pick one song, if you never heard no Public Enemy Bomb Squad song, I got to do Welcome to the Terror Dome. That's the perfect marriage of noise, chaos, and beauty with lyrics all in one. Premier, Come Clean is just the hardest beat that I've ever heard in my life. That the drums on that I love. Eric Sermon, I mean, that's my 11th grade year, brother, EPMD joint. But I'm going to pick a crazy one. Well, I'm going to tell you why I love Eric Sermon, because I'm not the biggest Redman fan, but man, he put beat after beat, album after album for Redman and made me like it. And so I would say that. But for Eric Sermon, and the song I'm gonna pick for him is Bayou Song with him and Too Short. I love that song.
Yeah.
Prince Paul, De La, but I'm gonna pick two songs. I know I'm only supposed to do one. MC Light Swinging. I didn't even know he did that. And then a roller skating jam called Saturday. Jay Dilla. I respect him. But again, I just don't think he created Oxygen. He's dope. He's a bad man. and you know, it's kind of like how you get annihilated for saying stuff about a Ninth or a Drake. That's why I never even comment about Jay Dilla. But my favorite joint for him, it's a death match between Running by the Far Side and The Stakes Is High with De La Soul. RZA, again, I think if y'all know me by now, I'm a laid back, jazzy type cat. So Woo, that wasn't my bag. But that nigga RZA, good gracious, man. I mean, all the stuff he did with, from Capadonna, the Ghost to Ray, he's a monster. I'm gonna just pick the whole Into the Wu-Tang 36 for him. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's 6.
All right, no doubt. Ev, who you got up next, man?
All right, start with it's not no specific order. It's Knots. I think he's a slept-on producer, and I think he's ridiculous. One of my favorite joints is 300Z off of the Rapper Pooh joint. He redid the Lord Digger joint for Old Dirty, the Brooklyn Zoo remix. He redid that beat, and it's fucking just crazy, stupid. After that, I'm gonna say Beat Miners. Beat Miners is they have a personal place in my heart. You know, throughout the '90s, to me, they were the sound. It's sad to see them not doing not as dope as they was then, or not even. I don't know if they're even doing production now anymore. But I think the Beat Miners really laid a foundation of a new type of sound for a lot of cats to kind of like, you know, kind of ride through. So I'll say the Beat Miners, one of my dopest Beat Miners tracks, is going to be kind of hard, but I'll say Smith & Wesson, it's maybe Bucktown. Off rep, I'm going to say Bucktown real fast. Next person, I'm going to say, and all these people honestly have a favorite song, but I just think they're dope producers. I'm going to throw Timberland in there. I think Tim is dope. I think Tim always been dope. I think Just Blaze is stupid. Another one that just been crazy. Madlib. I think Madlib is a lot of cats don't really give him enough recognition. I think Madlib is a super talented producer. He's another one of them. To me, he's kind of like on the Dilla level, whereas like he plays a lot of shit and people don't realize he plays. I mean, he put out a straight jazz album, straight up jazz, and he doesn't really play instruments, but he played that fucking album. So I think that's a lot to his credibility. And Kanye West, not even. Now, there's so much, you know, complexity when it comes to Kanye right now. You don't know who's doing what, if he got the sample, if he didn't get the sample. I think, you know, I can't say, but I'm just going to go off of what face value is. I think Kanye is a stupid producer. Like, his ear is sick, and I think Black Skinhead is just a ridiculous song. I think that beat is just stupid. So, yeah, that's my B level.
All right, no doubt. Nick, who you got up next?
Dilla. I mean, y'all already ran that down. Farside, Slum Village, Tribe, Madlib. That's another one. Over Stone's Throw, the Mad Villain joint. He do a lot of like beat CDs, just like instrumental joints too. Marley Marl, he pretty much influenced most of my favorite producers. Got to put him up there. Alchemist, like you said, one of the best, probably the best post 2000 Alchemist, consistent wise. Organized Noise, my hometown heroes, put respectable hip hop in the city. Got it, you know, because we just had Jermaine Dupri and Brody Shade. That's what we had. So Organized, they and where my joint at? I had to pull this out. This album, not the greatest, but that was before Southern Player listed.
Yep.
Parental advisory. Yeah. That was the first album they produced.
The beats are dope?
Yeah, production is dope.
All right, I gotta check that out.
MCs ain't that great, but
yeah, Mello and KP and them,
yeah.
All right, check that out.
And Kanye West. That'll be my second tier. Jay Dilla favorite beat would be probably Climax. Nah. The Shining joint, Shining Through, the Busta Rhymes from The Coming.
Yeah.
That'll be my Dilla joint. Madlib would be the Rhinestone Cowboy from Mad Villain. Marley Marl would be the what was the LL joint? The 6 Minutes of Pleasure. That was my shit. The video version. With the, hey girl, oh girl. That
hey
shit,
girl, I don't want you.
That was my joint.
I hated that fucking song.
Alchemist will be the Realest from Mobb Deep. Organized Noise would be Hootie Hoo.
Woo! Oh,
yeah. And
fight over here, man.
Kanye West would be Kanye. What was the joint he had with Mos Def and Freeway?
That
would be my Kanye.
First, I thought when you said Mos Def, I thought you was about to say Drunk and Hot Girls. I was gonna come to
No. Definitely not that one.
All right, no, who you got up next, bro?
You call me?
Yeah.
All right, my bad. So my second tier, RZA. Number 2 is the Neptunes / Pharrell, however you want to categorize it. Number 3, Timbaland. Number 4, Easy Mo B. Number 5, Madlib. And number 6, Alchemist. So the songs that I would pick as far as just like something if nobody ever heard them. For some of these guys, I got to go 2 songs. RZA, the Cold World remix with D'Angelo.
Yep.
And Shadowboxing. And it's crazy because both them songs are off the same fucking album. The Neptunes, I'm going with Keys, Open Doors, Clips, Hell Have No Fury. That thing, man, when that shit come on, yo, if you at the wrong place at the wrong time, yo, you goosebumps. That thing is crazy. Timbaland, I'm going with Hey Poppy and Nigga What, Nigga Who. First time I heard those joints, I had to look at the speaker like, what the fuck is that? Easy Mo B, I don't know if people know he did this, man. Everything Remains Raw, Busta Rhymes. That joint, man. Early Bus, crazy, that man. First album. Oh yeah. Madlib, I'm going with Fancy Clown off the Mad Villainy album. For those that watch the Boondocks, when Granddad get his heart broke, you know what it is. The Boondocks stay playing Madlib joints if you're not on it. So that's an easy way to get up on Madlib beats.
That's how Stone's Throw got sued too.
Yeah, brought too much attention.
And then with the Alchemist, for me, like Kill said it best, man. Alchemist has so much stuff. You honestly have to pretty much take a year's time to say, listen, I'm gonna just dig for Alchemist shit. A good place to start, Covert Coupe album. Scottie Pippen.
That's 5 mics.
Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen with Freddie Gibbs.
Yes.
Just quick verse for the Eagles, and I keep running it back like I'm the quarterback for the Eagles. Donald, what do you say, Michael Donovan or Michael?
Yeah, I mean that put me up on Freddie Gibbs. I wasn't up on him.
Same thing with that.
But then when I heard that, I was like, yo, who is this kid? And then he started writing Madlib. So that's a good place to start for Alchemist.
And on Alchemist, real quick, y'all know how much I kind of hate this cat, but
that's the joint. That's old boy.
Because Alchemist be on there. That's how dope Alchemist is. He made me buy Action Bronson, whack ass.
Yeah.
Old fat disrespectful ass motherfucker.
Tell us how you really feel about it.
Oh man, what's going on today, y'all? What's wrong?
No disrespect.
It is what it is.
Like, disrespect Ghost, man. You see, he got a food show now. He don't even rap no more. You know, Papa Wu made him go do food, man.
Papa Wu made him go do food.
Papa Wu made him go do that show up his funeral, man. How you gonna make somebody retire from hip hop at a hip hop
funeral?
Damn.
That's the power of the Wu. Tone, who you got, man?
All right, man. Second tier, start with the Bomb Squad. You guys already said it already, man. But my favorite track by them, Black Still Now with Chaos Still, listen to it all the time, man. It means it just goes so hard, yo. Q-Tip number 2, he could be anywhere between 2 and 5 to me. He's just so great. He's an amazing guy, man. I'm gonna go with Lyrics to Go, man. I still listen to that track pretty much once a week. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Between that joint and Electric Relaxation, Extra P. For a lot of reasons, he has classics. He can remix. He can do it all, man. So I go with Extra P. That Resurrection remix with Common is one of my favorite remixes of all time. So yeah, DJ Quick, man. DJ Quick can do it all. And I still rock that Hearts of Men off Tupac, All Eyes on Me. He killed that Hearts of Men. That shit is amazing. Organized Noise, for the reasons you guys said, you know, they could be anywhere on the list as well, man. They pretty much can do anything making beats. You know, so I take Organized Noise. And finally, like you guys said, Alchemist, man. He might have the most heat I've heard since that run Primo and RZA had. Yeah. I mean, Alchemist is a lot of work. If you Google him and look at his discography, that shit is long, man. And they bang out too. You know, between the work he did with Mobb Deep to his own projects, Alchemist, man, he sliding up close to that top 5 for me.
Same here.
So, I'll tell
So
you,
that's my second tier, fellas.
I appreciate you listening to that Alchemist mix because I send a lot of folks stuff that they don't listen. I'm saying I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
It reminded me of how and you forget sometimes because I'm listening to so much different types of music. But when you actually listen to that mix and put it in perspective, you're like, yo, it's not that many people better than the Alchemist, man.
Yeah. True indeed. Who you got for your second tier?
I got Q-Tip. For obvious reasons that everybody mentioned, low end, Midnight Marauders. My favorite track from Q-Tip, it's probably the World Is Yours remix, because it what's crazy? It sounds like a Tribe record when you try to take Nas out of it and listen to it. But it was still dope. It was really, really dope. One of the records that, I don't know, it satisfied me to a point where, it wasn't just, we have Illmatic and then that's it. Just the fact that they kept going and with the same producers and doing remixes, and everybody taking a shot at a remix was pretty dope. And Q-Tip is kind of underrated in that regard, like you said, Kill, because most of us were under the impression that Ali Shahi Muhammad was doing production and he wasn't doing shit. So Alchemist, for obvious reasons, I think Alchemist is like a combination between the work ethic of and kind of the notoriety, where I said some people don't really know a lot of shit that Dilla did. Some of their favorite records that Dilla did, and then they're the records they know. Alchemist is kind of like that also, because he does so much. He does a lot that people know of, and then he does so much that people don't even know, man. He does albums with this rapper, that rapper. He released like 2 beat tapes, like French Connection or something like that, like right before Christmas or something like that. And no big promotion or nothing. This dude is just crazy like that. I don't necessarily have a favorite track. I just I probably have a favorite beat CD from him, and even this is kind of loose, but I love that Russian Roulette joint, because I just love the way it was crafted. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them joints you can put on. At first I was mad because I didn't want to hear no rappers on it, because I felt like they kind of took away from what he was doing with the production and the skits and all the sound bites. I just found all of that to be really dope. Bomb Squad, I was a big Public Enemy fan as a kid. Fight the Power, man. Once Louis Farrakhan and that beat revs up and it drops, I mean, that shit is just revolution ready. Like, I mean, if you watching TV and they like, yo, y'all, and I'm not trying to say anything, but like, yo, the race war is on, and then somebody hits play on Fight the Power, I'm just like, yo, go get my stuff. I'm going outside, son. Fight the Power is on. It's time to represent. I'm just joking. I got a new job. I can't say shit like that. What else? Large Professor. I think as time went on, he kind of got forgotten about, and he's done so much beyond just what he's done with Main Source. My favorite track from Large Professor is probably Faking the Funk, because it was, to me, when I heard that, even beyond what he did with Nas and some of the other stuff, I was like, damn, this dude has another layer to himself. You know what I'm saying? Because I always looked at him as a dope rapper. And at the time, when Main Source was out, I didn't know he was a producer. So when I found out he was producing also, I'm like, damn, this dude is like a double threat. You know what I'm saying? Just like a lot of these, like Q-Tip.
Yo, Ray, real quick, on that Large Professor thing, I forgot to say, is another thing about Large Pro that a lot of people don't realize. He was one of the first producers who would have solos in his songs. So if you're listening to Snake Eyes, he just lets a flute solo just fly for a minute. He would construct things like there'd just be a solo somewhere, like he was really like on playing some type instruments thing. Even hanging out, we doing the Sister Nancy, joint just out of nowhere. Like he was infamous for doing that. But my bad, fam.
Yeah. I got EPMD, and that kind of is EPMD with the extension to Eric Sermon, basically. I just love especially with Eric Sermon, I just love the funk beats, you know what I'm saying, that he did for Redman, and even though I didn't like Keith Murray's first album, you know, I just love the tracks. I just love how he would reconstruct them joints, and they felt like Eric Sermon production. They felt like, you know, what we remember with what EPMD would do. My favorite track from Eric Sermon, I don't know. He got so many, but I'm just gonna go with something that's not even. It's probably a loop. Jay-Z said put some more beat on that joint. But I was rapping heavy around the time when he did the joint on Hard Knock Life, the posse cut with Beans, the Locks,
Reservoir Dogs.
Mm-hmm. And that's the type of loop I used to tell producers, like, yo, do that. Like, trust me. Like, that would sound crazy, taking the Shaft joint and just looping it. You know, you could do special stuff with it. But it was because it was the perfect, like, cypher type beat. You know what I'm saying? And I think Eric Sermon and EPMD as a whole were always good. Like, Headbanger's a dope beat. Everything on what's the album? Business Never Personal. I listened to that the other day. All those beats are crazy, like all of them. And lastly, Havoc from Mobb Deep. Originally, you know, I knew Q-Tip worked on some joints. I knew Havoc did some joints on Infamous, and you know, I knew he was dope. But it wasn't until like he started doing like Godfather 3, stuff like that, where I was just like, yo, Illustrious. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, Havoc is nice with the tracks. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Havoc would be my 6th one for my second tier.
All right, no doubt. Going into my 3rd tier, we got my man Ski Beats out of North Cackalack. Just classic beats. I mean, stuff he did with Jay for Camp Low. So many joints he did for the Outsiders, for Pace One, the I Declare War joint. To me, Ski is one of those producers who's similar, like what a lot of us are saying, that you may not have known he did some of your favorite beats. You know, before a hot minute, Ski was the dude. I gotta go with Bink out of Virginia. The thing to me that Bink did technically to the game that kind of switched things up is Bink, to me, kind of brought that live drumming feel to hip hop. You know, prior to Bink, in my opinion, everybody had your kickstand hi-hat. That was it. You know, on your SP, your MP, whatever you use, kickstand hi-hat. You know, when you listen to a lot of Bink stuff, you started adding toms and drum rolls and really bringing that live aspect of drumming that a lot of people did nowadays. Not to mention Just Blaze bit his whole entire style and catalog and everything down from the Rooter to the Tutor is all Bink, because I didn't listen to the Dynasty album because I was done with Jay-Z by that time. So I had never heard the Dynasty. So when I came back to listen to it, I heard 1-900 Hustler. I'm like, damn, Just Blaze killed this shit. My man was like, nah, that's Bink. I was like, nah, there's no way that's Bink. That's all Just Blazing. So here we go. So I'll give Bink that for that. And just classic joints he's got. Devil in New Dress. God, that's just, you know, hip hop perfection for me right there. Next up, Jake One. Versatility. Not to mention, I've been trying to get this dude back on a podcast, but he done been on tour with my man, the Tuxedo dude. Guy, you know, he doing tuxedo music. Back to what I said about Alchemist, him and Al are two of the people who still fuck my head up. When I heard that Rock Cocaine Club, and what I mean by that is when the beat is going dun 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 dun, like I'm sitting here listening like, yo, how did he do that? Like how? And I mean, I've seen the video of him explaining it, and I'm still like, how did you do that? You know, so that's what I mean for me about messing up my head, and Jake still does that. Beat miners. Perfect. Pete may have invented the filtered bass line, but I think them dudes just perfected it. It could have been, again, a lot of these things that cats were doing were by mistake. Like they said, hey, we in the studio, we don't know nothing. We just turning the bass all the way up on everything. You know what I mean? So that's what they said on Into the Stage. We just push the bass all the way up and just let it, because I'm telling you, when you hear the original I Got You Open, it's shaking walls, man. That bass walls. Yeah. And I mean, just 2 classic albums with Into the Stage and Smith & Wesson. And if cats can tell, by the time we on the C level, we're now just getting to like beats. There's really not a lot of technicality that's going on because the forefathers kind of laid that for a lot of these other producers to kind of know what to do with it. I got to go with the beat nuts out of Corona. A lot of people sleep on Juju and Cycle Less, but them dudes to me, some of the dopest producers, the loop, to me, they were one of the first people who really started using like loops from different countries, like grabbing an Italian album and grabbing a Spanish album and just grabbing whatever. They were like, I feel like before that it was like, you know, jazz and soul and all those things. Some dudes would grab a record out the 10-cent bin and you know, find something and kill it with them. And I gotta go with my man Herbie Lovebug. Ever get?
Hold up, man. What the fuck?
What? You don't like Herbie? Last show you don't like Joe Budden. Now you don't like.
Hey,
Herbie.
look! I'm starting to turn a new leaf on Joe Buttons. I ain't gonna talk about it tonight, but I'm starting to actually turn a new leaf on Joe Buttons. We'll talk about that later. But Herbie Lovebug, he will never get respect from me, man.
Did you listen
Do you really want me, baby? Let me know.
Like Herbie Lovebug,
man.
Bring it back.
That shit.
You're going. Let's take back.
Herbie Lovebug was the first baby. He need to pay them people.
Let's take it
back.
Them producers. Let's take it back to '86 with stuff like Dana Dane with Fame. Would I give Herbie?
I get down with Dana Dane.
The king of PG-13 hip hop. And what I find is he had clean, good stuff, and it wasn't whack. Kid and Play, Getting Funk, Do It My Way, Last Night. Herbie is one of the first people who really put a lot of go-go into his music with Rolling with Kid and Play and Salt and Pepper. You could not front on Salt and Pepper. Listen to
that Hot, Cool, and Vicious. Woo.
Yeah, Hot, Cool, and Vicious, dog, man. Them beats stupid. Not to mention we gonna knock them out with some Sweet Tea. We gonna get some Kwame. Like that.
All right.
That dude had his click, and again, I don't think he gets a lot of props for it. Favorite ski beat, I gotta go with Pace One, I Declare War. Favorite beat, 1-900 Hustler. This is gonna shock people, but I love this. Every time I talk to Jake, I tell him this. My favorite beat from Jake One is the joint he did with Wale and Usher. I love that song. The joint that was
the Matrimony. I didn't know that's a good song.
Yeah, Jake did that. I don't know why that's my favorite. I just love that song. Beat Miners, I'm going with Smith & Wesson Session at the Dog Hill. Beat Nuts, Watch Out Now. Watch Out Now to this day. And Herbie Lovebug, I gotta go. It's like a 3-way tie between Do This My Way and Getting Funky and Last Night. Those 3 Kid and Play songs, man, pop perfection across the board.
Yeah.
That's my C tier. Vern, who you got on your 3rd tier?
I'm gonna start with Herbie, just for the exact point that you made. Salt and Pepper, Kwame. I mean, it was just good, clean stuff. And bro, that Hot, Cool, and Vicious and The Salt with a Deadly Pepper are dope albums to me. And my favorite Herbie, I'm gonna go with I Desire off of Salt and Pepper's first album. I'm gonna go DJ Quick.
You wanna know something crazy? Let the Rhythm Run.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Rep, you still laughing, man?
Nah, man. Hey, look, I know you got some kind of mix for it, man.
Bro, you already know I got a Best of Herbie Lovebug mix.
That's what I'm saying. Go ahead, and put that in the Dropbox for me, and I'll pick that up tonight.
So it'll be Saturday. I said I got a Best of Al mix for you. You fronting on Joe? I had a Best of Joe mix. I got a Best of Herbie mix for you.
Hey, you know what's funny? Not to cut you. I actually went and just downloaded all of Joe's shit. I just said fuck it.
My mixtape, I'm telling y'all, if y'all watching and y'all don't, my mixtapes will make believers out of folk. Because a lot of times you don't know. I'm a liner note junkie. A lot of people aren't. So you don't know that who these people, produce for. And real quick, not to hold on, Vern, with that Alchemist thing, one thing that I do love about Alchemist is sometimes you got to get the right fit. And what I mean by that is because I was going to say my favorite beat is We Gonna Make It by Jada and Styles. The problem is when I heard the Razzcast version of it, I don't like that beat at all. It's bugged. What Razzcast did to it just wasn't anything, and I wouldn't even have thought to name that beat. But Styles and Kiss just did something to that beat that just took it to that next level that Raz couldn't do. But I'm sorry, Vern. Back to you.
Good. So Herbie, second DJ Quick, man, and I'm gonna just say pick one of his quick grooves. For 1 and 2 of my favorites for him. No ID. What he did with Common on that Resurrection album, bro. He put his foot in it. Oh shoot, Neptunes. I just love the bounce on this joint. Pastor Gavassi, I love that beat, bro. Just Blaze. If you ever want to see this mild-mannered dude turn into David Banner and flip tables, put that lineup up on, bro. I turn it to a different person. And I gotta say, my top 3 favorite bass lines of all time, the Beat Miners, what they did on that LaFleur as Coach Scott, bruh. I love that bass line. So Neptunes, Quick, Hurry, Blaze, Beat Miners, and No ID.
All right, no doubt. That No ID was a dope pick. The No ID definitely a dope pick. Nick, who you got?
So we're on the 3rd tier now. I hate saying 3rd tier because all of these dudes are great, but Havoc, y'all already for me it was Hell on Earth that made me the believer. Even the Infamy album was solid production wise, even though Havoc, Prodigy was, Jay put him in the casket by then.
He was going through his Nick Anderson protocol.
He wasn't the same after that. But and Murder Music. So my favorite joint by Havoc would be The Quiet Storm, original, not the Lil Kim remix, the OG. Large Professor. You got his self-titled that didn't come out. You got the Breaking Atoms, which is classic, and Akinelli's Vagina Diner.
And people sleep on that Vagina Diner like
they do, big time.
Like it never even came out. I was listening to hey man, the bomb.
The bomb was crazy.
The album is nice, man. Favorite Large Pro production will be It Ain't Hard to Tell, because that's what made me a Nas fan.
What about
DJ Muggs?
What about that It Ain't Hard to Tell remix though?
Yeah, the remix. I was gonna ask you about the remix.
Yeah. That's nice too.
Freaking it with the Biz, Nas is recognized as the king of disco, and man, when I first heard that, everybody was like, "Yo, when do Biz say Nas?" It was I was like, "Yo, this nigga took recognize to make it go not." I quit. Yeah, I quit plenty of times.
Yeah.
That was right. That was one of the throw the stuff away. Just let's sell it because we ain't gonna never get to that level. My bad.
DJ Muggs, he's kind of the precursor to RZA, in my opinion, with that dusty sample sound. The Cypress, the whole Soul Assassin stuff that he did, because he did a lot of stuff for House of Pain and Funk Dubious. Favorite track by him would be Cock the Hammer from the Black Sunday album. Eric Sermon, y'all already said it. You know what I'm saying? EPMD, Def Squad. Favorite joint by him would be the Chill. Not You Got to Chill, but Chill.
I know what you're talking about.
From the Business Never Personal.
Sir.
That's my shit. Beat Nuts, underrated to me. I think the self-titled from '94 is like a production clinic, like a sample heavy. Like if you're into that sample heavy sound, that album from a production standpoint, you will love it. Favorite track from them would be Straight Jacket and The Bomb Squad. Only reason they're that far down because, like I said, my list is pretty much whole projects. And outside of the Public Enemy, they didn't really do too much. I mean, they had some outside productions during the late 80s for the most part, but you can't deny what they did. And like you said, I mean, Death Certificate is my favorite Cube album, but America Most Wanted is right there.
Right.
Favorite joint, The Nigga You Love to Hate. That's my shit. So that's my 2nd tier.
That's your 3rd tier.
Third tier, my bad. Havoc, Lost Professor, Muggs, Eric Sermon, Beat Nuts, Bomb Squad.
All right, no doubt. Rec, who you got?
3rd tier, Q-Tip, Eric Sermon, DJ Quick, Organized Noise, Kanye West, and Knots. Favorite Q-Tip joint, man, Give Up the Goods. Every time I hear that song, just the song by itself, I think of that. Eric Sermon, he gets 2, man. The Funkorama remix off of it was off of EP that he did. And then Jam for You by Redman off What the Album.
That jam.
Basically flips a guy joint. Well, not guy, but fuck did he flip? I forget what he flipped, but just go check it out. DJ Quick, Justify My Thug. Organized Noise for me is Benzo or Beamer. I'ma always love that fucking song. Off the New Jersey Drive soundtrack. Thing was just crazy. Kanye West, he gets 2. My Way Home and Crack Music. And then Knots, honestly, anything Knots does, man, I think Ev said it earlier, man, Knots is just severely underrated. It's sad. But Barry Bonds, man, he co-produced that.
Yeah, that's a nasty joint.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. So, who you got on your third set?
It's funny we're talking about producers because I slept on Knots for so many years, and ironically enough, Knife put me on the Knots a long time ago, sitting in his damn Jeep. So, and he just like, look, this is the best beat maker I've ever heard, alive, whatever. And I really got into it and started doing my research, man. And when I ran across that couple of years ago, that song "Can't Get Right" with Scarface. Oh my goodness, man! That's one of the best beats I've ever heard. But Knots is incredible, man. Very clear, drums are dope. I mean, he's just a perfectionist at making beats, man. You really can't lose with Knots. Just Blaze, I know he might have stole from Bink, man, but Just Blaze got heat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with that. I like that. I Really Mean It, man. He did so much shit for the Dipset, man. I'm gonna go with Just Blaze in my third tier. I got Eric Sermon and Paris Smith because real talk, Paris Smith did Strictly Business. Eric Sermon started doing the production on the second album. So Paris Smith did the first EPMD album. So a lot of people don't know that. So Paris Smith made hot beats. So I got EPMD as far as both of them together, even though Eric started taking the reign after that debut. Havoc, of course, I'm a Mobb Deep fanatic. Shook One, still one of my top 5 beats probably. So I'm going to put Havoc there. Kanye, man, Kanye dope, man. You know, a lot of his stuff around the Blueprint time, dude was in the zone, man. So whatever happened after late registration and he started getting assistance or whatever, that's one thing. But Kanye, up until, late registration, he was killing it. So I'll put him right there. That's what we had. My favorite Kanye song is probably 2 words with Most and Freeway.
Yeah, that's dope.
That was great.
Yeah.
All right, Beg, what you got? Oh, you know what I want to say real quick about the PMD thing? Here's the thing. I think because you had told me before that PMD, somebody Scratch said that, right? Or somebody had verified that it was PMD on the first joint, right?
No, he said it as well, but Scratch also.
On the podcast, yeah.
All right, Scratch said it. I think one of the hard things about production in those days was was about bringing the record because people have equipment. A lot of times, that's why, and I don't know if it's some 10-year or 12-year contract, but it was out of nowhere, everybody was like, "Oh, Marley ain't do nothing." Like nobody said shit about Marley not producing nothing till 2002. Then it's now everybody started coming out the woodwork. Well, I brought the record. So I think one of the things that P may have had a slight challenge with continuing to produce was once you got to the point where it wasn't just bring the record and give it to the engineer to loop up or do whatever, that he had to start doing it himself, because I thought PMD's production would have been doper with his albums, and it obviously wasn't. You know what I mean? So I do think that that's one of the biggest hurdles, and why some of these people I hold in such high esteem is because you had to take it from just giving somebody a record and then calling yourself a producer because you heard a good move. And also, I think the thing with New York, and Veg may be able to speak to this some, with the park jams, a lot of the stuff that Marley used was the things that he heard his older brother play at park jams. So when you hear the Samandi loop that became Master Ace Me or the Biz, they used to play that in the park. Peter Piper, Run DMC, the Bob James, that was a break that they used to use in the park jam. So a lot of the beats we heard in the late mid to late 80s were records that were played in park jams that people just then took that kind of like taking a tape from the park and bringing it to the record, similar to what Puff would do in the 90s when he was taking stuff from the clubs and redoing it. Me and my man were talking about it today because I'm like, yo, our parents didn't really like hip hop because they knew where a lot of the loops came from. They heard the song and they would say, "Oh, that ain't nothing but James Brown."
Yeah.
And that's the reason why they didn't like our music, was because they knew where it came from. And I always school people that's why we didn't like Puff and the Trackmasters, right? because we was like, oh no, that's just Hey Lover by Michael. I mean, that's The Lady in My Life by Michael Jackson. Like, that's just Upside Down by Diana Ross. But that's why our parents didn't like hip hop, because for them, they knew the songs. We didn't know the song. If I would have known Isaac Hayes like that, I wouldn't have liked Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos. I would have been like, oh, that ain't shit, but Isaac, like, you know what I mean? So just keeping in mind that a lot of these producers, why a lot of producers fall off is because they can't make that next jump. They can't make that jump from just bringing a record to now I got the equipment in my house. Now I got to figure out how to make a beat. So just a message, quick little message for you. Vague, who's on your third tier?
On my third tier, I got Marley Marl for a lot of the reasons you guys already mentioned. There was a time where in the 80s, I thought Marley Marl was the only producer. He just had his hands on so many classic records and hits and MCs, and like when you go back, and especially when you look at 80s hip hop, he's all over it. You know what I'm saying? He's all over a lot of classic, timeless records, man. Like even the Beat for the Bridge, man. The Beat for the Bridge just does not get old. That's probably my favorite Marley Marl track. If hopefully he did it. And then he did for LL what Kanye did for Common, basically. You know what I'm saying? He gave LL a second win. People took LL really seriously when he got with Marley. Because he wasn't finished, you know what I'm saying? Another producer I have there, I have Organized Noise. Back then I didn't know who was doing the production for Outkast and Group Home. Not Group Home. What's it called? Who? Goody Mob. But I knew I always liked the tracks, you know what I'm saying? And I like the groups. My favorite track from them is probably Cell Therapy. Just because that joint is just, I mean, they used to play that in parties. You can't dance to that shit. For anybody young listening, we actually dance. We didn't just stand on a wall somewhere. But it was just one of them joints that was dope. It didn't matter where it came from, at least not to me personally. I just thought it was just a dope record. I love that beat. Even when it comes on to this day, man, it's just like me being from Brooklyn, New York, and hearing them talk about Dirty South. I always heard that beat and stuff like that. And it's like that's what they talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because that beat is like that. Who else I got down here? I got Just Blaze. I just like Just Blaze's production. You know, I like the energy he takes, more so the hip hop than other stuff he's done. I love like a lot of the stuff he did with Rockefeller. I think he kind of benefited from a time in being one of those producers, just like, you know, the Hitman with Bad Boy. You know, you the producer on the label that's popping. You know, you just looking for dope stuff for dope MCs, and I think he did his thing. I even love what he did with the Pump It Up joint, because to me, Scenario Remix, you don't touch that. But what he did with it, I was just like, damn, Blaze turned that shit into an even doper record than it already was. It didn't even need to be remixed in any way. I also got DJ Scratch down here.
Scratch is a monster.
Yeah, he on that EPMD Business Never Personal. He did Scratch, Bring It Back. Listen to that shit today. That shit is hard, man.
Hard. You got like a beat switch in there too. Oof.
Yeah, that beat switch. That is a hard ass record.
Scratch is a monster.
That's one of those beats where you got to think back and be like, damn, wait, what year was this? Because this sounds like something like that was a little bit ahead of its time as far as, I ain't talking about techniques and all that, but just sound and how hard it was. I got two favorite records for him. The Pharaoh joint right here.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that record, obviously. You know, the Brooklyn part used to make me go crazy in the club. And the joint he did for Beanie with Bun B, Purple Rain. Like,
oh hell yeah!
I don't do lean. I don't do none of that. But yo, I love that record just like I did it. You know what I'm saying? I could listen to that record over and over again. Obviously, the rappers came through and did their thing with the cadence and what they were talking about. But it's just such a dope ass beat that shows that hip hop isn't one way. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just boom bap. It ain't party records. It could be so many different things. And you know, I didn't even know Scratch did that joint until like maybe a couple of months ago. And I got two more. Justice League. I think Rick Ross albums made me like them dudes that much. Because you know, Rick Ross, I don't feel like he's the most talented rapper of them all, like an MC. I think he's a dope rapper. But it's them Justice League beats, man. And I know, you know, they, like we said, everybody borrowed from somebody. You feel like Dre borrowed from the Bomb Squad. It's a part of this. It's a part of everything. We all borrow from everything. Floyd Mayweather borrowed from Muhammad Ali, and it's everybody. Muhammad Ali borrowed from Sugar Ray Robinson. So let me get my boxing bag because I know just as much about it as hip hop. But you know what I'm saying? I really don't hold that against anybody because we all influenced by somebody or something. And like with Justice League, man, I think they just I wish they would do some of the Nas beats when Nas is trying to go in that lane. You know what I'm saying? When he's trying to get in that kind of flashy lane, I think his voice and his rhyming style is perfect over those types of beats.
Justice League beat.
Like Justice League. And lastly, Kill's favorite, Ninth Wonder.
Yeah, we go.
I got Ninth down because I wasn't up on Little Brother when the Listening came out. I thought a lot of people were kind of overrating him, at least the people that kept approaching me like, yo, you gotta check it out. But when they came out with the Minstrel Show, I was paying attention. And you know, I mean, I get, obviously everybody's paying attention because that's how he got with Jay-Z and went on from there. I don't think Ninth Wonder is one of the greatest producers of all time. I think affiliation has gotten him where he is, you know what I'm saying? And he's probably a cool dude. He's probably a smart businessman at the same time. So some people look at where they see you and who they see you next to, and then they all of a sudden bump you up. But I do like his beats. One of my favorite beats, as far as something old from Little Brother, Say It Again. I love that record. I love that record to death. I can listen to it over and over again. It's just, I don't know, it makes me feel good when I hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you smile?
Nah,
when you listen to it?
I'm smiling. You just made me smile by saying this. What's the other one he did? Oh, I like what he did recently, the Duckworth joint with Kendrick.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I wasn't expecting much because, you know, it was like, oh, Ninth Wonder and Kendrick did something. Yeah, okay, cool. At least I know it'd be hip hop. And you know, of course, obviously Kendrick's story definitely added to that. But the beat was dope, man. So yeah, Ninth Wonder has a lot of records I like that he's produced. So that's my picks for my third tier.
All right, no doubt. And one of the things about Ninth, just as a caveat, that I think for me being a producer, a lot of times I'm like the things that really push me. Again, it's not that Ninth is whack. I gave the example in the beginning. Like, it's like his beats are cool, but they just don't push me to want to make beats, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're a DJ, yo, you like that DJ set, but it don't push you to where you be like, oh, I need to go practice, or I need to go get on the wheels. And again, that's not a diss, but that's what it is. My last list, I'm coming in with, at my level, D level, Knots, yo, his bass lines. Like, we could just start with his bass lines and his chops. That dude, just if you follow him on IG, I feel like he just takes any song. He'll take New Edition's Candy Girl, chop that in 20 different ways. It'll be like, it literally, like, I think he just does stuff like that just to, I guess, sharpen his blade or just practice with stuff. But he's like that producer. If I had to compare anybody to a Jay Dilla, I would say Notch, because Notch fucks up my head. He can take stuff and just do monumental stuff with it. Notch is bananas. My favorite Notch joint, the one that put me on the Notch, is What You Come Around Here For, Flip Mode. Oliver.
Yeah.
Obliterated that. That was like off the Violator 2 album or something like that. I heard that. Oh my God, that's stupid. Havoc, to me, there was a time when Havoc had a good 2-3 year run where I just think Havoc was top 3 easy. Havoc's drums were stupid. Favorite song from him, Still Shining. I love that beat to this day. I can always just wild out to that. E. Sermon, whenever I talk about Eric Sermon, I'm talking everything post EPMD because I never knew who did what or whatever. So when I say E. Sermon, I'm talking about Redman, Def Squad, Keith Murray, all that. My favorite E. Sermon, Watching Nuggets. I got to put my man Diamond D in here. Classic album with Stunt Blunts and Hip Hop. Numerous remixes. Favorite song from him was Fat Joe's Flojo. When I heard that joint with the Hawaii 5-0 sample, that thing used to just keep me hypnotized with them drums. It was crazy. Madlib, I'm not a big Madlib fan, but I do like his music. I respect his music. This is actually my favorite joint, the Yesterday's New Quintet joint.
Dope album.
Just to toot my horn, it's a very rare copy of the CD. They were only like 50 of these made. This is the original. This is not the repress that they put out.
Stevie John.
The Stevie joint. And last I got High Tech, man, after Daddy, man. The stuff he did for Black Star, that's the first time. I'll tell you a funny story. Greg, we was up at EAA, and most and all them came in, and High Tech was sitting at the mic. And you know, in the two-way talk studio, we only had so many mics. And I'm like talking to them from the other studio, like, yo, can you ask my man to get off the mic? I want to get Most and Talib on the mic and like do the shit. And it was High Tech. And I'm like, nigga, I don't know the fuck who you are. Like, dog, you don't get no mic. Like, if there's 3 mics going the most, it's like, this third mic. Like,
fucked up.
Like,
yeah, get a producer a mic, man.
I'm just like, dog, how you on the mic? You ain't the rapper. Don't nobody want to hear from you. But
the drummer can't get none, kid.
I mean, nobody knew who High Tech was at the time. So it's like, how you gonna jump on the mic and live on the side? Like, so, but yeah, just countless remixes. Got you question. If you got 2 mics in the studio and you got High Tech, both of them, and Live, who are you going to choose to get on those 2 mics? It's not fucked up. It's
they can share the mic.
Yeah.
Most get his own and they can like share the mic.
But dog, I don't even know who High Tech is at the time. We got Black Star in the studio. Like nobody knew who he was. Like
did they let you know who he was during the interview?
No, when he eventually said, well, man, that's High Tech. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But I mean, like,
get out the
Say, man.
No, High Tech, get off the mic.
Get off the mic.
Like, I don't
nice
know.
beats, nigga. Get up.
I didn't know. And people used to come up. Y'all know how cats did in the 90s. Come up to the radio station 20 deep for Black Pop for one person. So I don't know if this is just your man, your cousin, and them. I don't know who he is. You know? So, but what were you gonna say, back?
No, I was gonna agree with that. You know, as a former host of a hip hop program, if it's around that time and you know Most and you know Talib, we don't care who you are, man. Get out of the way, man.
Yo, here's the thing. Man. Here's the bad thing. You got 2 mics. Ali, Tip, and Fife cover.
Oh shit.
Who gets the 2 mics, bro? And you know Ali. You know him.
Ali ain't gonna say shit the whole interview. Get the mic.
You're giving it to Tip and Fife, and you know Ali. I don't even know this dude, but all that to just say, High Tech, the Black Star album. The first time I heard of him, the joints he had was crazy. The Reflection Eternal album was stupid. His High Technology, I think he had 3 of them. I loved 1, 2 was dope, 3 was aight. But he's got one of my favorite songs with 199 off the Sound Bombing with Sadat in Common, which was crazy to me. So yeah, Knots, Havoc, E. Sermon, Diamond D, Madlib, and High Tech. Vern, who you got for your last tier, good brother?
Right, I'm pulling one out left field. Mr. Teddy Riley. He produced the show. Yeah. You produced Kumo D, Go See the Doctor, Wild Wild West. He produced one of my all-time favorite Heavy D joints. We Got Our Own Thing. So Teddy Riley. Ninth Wonder. I can't like Fonte as much as I do and not put him, you know, in one of my tiers. And I would say favorite song by Ninth, not here anymore. That Elzai and Fonte joined out for Charity Starts at Home. Havoc. That Shook Ones is another song that would make me, you know, catch a case. It creates a feeling, and I love that. I mean, he took me someplace. He doesn't have a long discography, but I love his musicality. I'm gonna say Terrence Martin. You know, you know, that's what he did on Good Kid and on The Pimp a Butterfly. I'm gonna go with Complexion for that joint. And then, oh man, this hurts. Now I'm gonna leave him off. I'm gonna go with Large Professor, and pick a song that nobody would ever usually pick. I'm gonna say Keep It Moving off of the Tribe joint.
Okay.
Wow.
So Ninth, Havoc, Wyclef, Large P, Terrence Martin, and Teddy.
All right. Yo, one thing about Havoc again, man, and it is what I always try to tell these young cats. People act like people didn't dance before Puff and the shiny suits came around. Yo, we used to go to this roller skating ring on the west side of Baltimore and Morgan. And I'll never forget, man, they threw on Shook Ones. Everybody lost their mind. The shorties lost their mind. Everybody lost their damn mind and got out on the floor to go skating around in a damn circle. I never to this day understood the purpose of skating. You go over and over and over. You're like a human record. Like you over and over and over again. But neither here nor there. All right. Dick, who you got for your last tier, man?
Last tier, we're looking at Ski. You know, the joints he did with Jay, the Camp Low joint, even the joints he did with Currency.
Yeah.
Type.
Yeah. Yo, I said I declare war. I gotta change that to Lucchini. Lucchini gotta be my favorite. Woo.
Yeah.
Like that. If you are having a bad day and you play, just kill yourself.
Oh, actually, no. I'll tell you that. He gonna be mad if he watch this. That's honorable mentions. Prince Paul. Prince Paul is where it starts at. So Prince Paul, Pimp C, rest in peace. No ID, E Swift from the Alcoholics, Diamond D, and T Mix, Suave House. He's responsible for all of that. 8-Ball, MJG, T Lil,
9,000 albums worth of shit.
all of that. T Smith, T Mix.
I've never even heard of T Mix.
Suave House, man. That's the South.
I need to make you
ministry
a
right there,
House
man.
mixtape.
But again, man, I don't do lean. Am I gonna enjoy it?
Yes, that's the thing. You might not.
You might like some of it.
You might like some of
I've been
it.
told before, if I don't smoke weed, I wouldn't get there as a dark side. So I may not get Suave House if I don't do
Kill. Let me. All right. MJG and 8-Ball, they're pretty dope. I like them.
Yeah.
But when you start talking about these other niggas I never heard of, Teddy Bear and some shit like that. Teddy Bear. I'm like, I can't.
Wow. Teddy
I
Bear.
can't do no more, man.
Damn.
The only thing I know about Suave House is those ads in the Source and XXL where even the paper was shiny. Like they,
Yeah, man.
we shine through the paper. It shine.
Hey Nick, was that I hit the highway, making money that fly away? That's on
He did that.
Yeah.
He did that. Man, that's Lil Kiki, man. You know how much they play that joint out here?
That little
Oh,
joint.
man.
Yeah, man.
That shit gets played at least once an hour. He from the South Side, man.
That's that rider music, man.
South Side. That shit gets played once an hour out here.
Man, we spread out, so we gotta have music we can ride to.
You're right. That's why I love having y'all. I love learning from y'all, man. I never heard.
You never heard Lil Kiki, man? Yeah. Shot Cola, 20-inch baby.
On the Impala.
But yo, the lean cough syrup, right? That's the cough syrup, right?
Yeah, you gotta lean with it.
All right, with that lean. Okay. All right.
Oh man, y'all got me laughing.
Next time I'm sick and I'm under the weather and I'm taking some cough syrup,
I'm gonna send you that Suave House mix.
Man, don't send that man no promethazine, man. That man
Suave House mix.
coming in there on some syrup. All right, Rack, who you got last?
Oh,
Jesus. All right, so Beat Miners, Just Blaze, Beat Nuts, Havoc, Ninth, and Large Pro. I had to do a little bit of editing, but that's who I got for my last tier. So for the Beat Miners, they get 2. Therapy off of the Helter Skelter joint and PNC. That PNC, man, that's a beautiful song. That's just a beautiful song to me. Just Blaze, I'm gonna go with Compton, man, off the Good Kid, Mad City. You wouldn't have known it was Just Blaze unless he said it, like he always do. But I like that beat. I like that beat from Just. Beat Nuts, no equal. I bang the Beat Nuts every year from 92-ish, 93-ish to at least 96, 97. They were in constant rotation, man. Those dudes, you hit it best, Kill. Those guys sample from everything, but you gotta remember they Dominican, Puerto Rican, so they're gonna pull from other things, you know, not just soul and stuff like that. So the Beat Nuts, definitely underrated cats.
More Puerto Rican and Dominican producers and rappers in hip hop. It's like they just tapped out at graph and breakdance. Like that was it.
Yeah, it's not many. It's not many. I mean, it's a few, but
you made that point about them being Dominican. That kind of, I'm like, wow, I never thought about that. That would reach for other things.
Because you gotta think about it. I mean, you listen to that EP, half the samples on there were like Spanish kids music.
Yeah.
Like that's kids music.
Yeah, I just never thought about it like that.
You don't catch it. Havoc, I'm going with live nigga rap. Man, we used to play that joint like for you know, when you got a basketball game and you got music playing while you're in the lab line. I used to edit it. Man, live nigga rap, come on the tape.
Side note, bro, you just made torture for me. Bro, I hate going, well, I love seeing my daughter play, but these pre-game songs, oh my God.
You need me to send you a mix, man? I got you.
Yeah, just put it on my headphones so I don't have to listen to it.
I got you, man. I got you. But that live nigga rap,
yes,
man.
Ray P said that off with that NYC. You and I verse.
Yes. Seriously.
Yes.
Oh, Havoc.
Yes. Yes. That's a perfect Havoc record. Ninth Wonder, I'm going with Murray's Revenge with my boy Merce. I got Clown a couple months back, but that Murray's Revenge, man, he chopped up what's the Bob James joint, man?
That Nautilus.
I've never heard anybody chop Nautilus. I've heard people sample it, loop it, but he chopped it to bits and pieces and infinite pieces, and he did a good job on it. Being that it's Ninth is I like Ninth. Ninth's not bad to me. I like Ninth. He didn't do it any bad, you know, service or whatever. He did right by the gods. Large Pro, I'm going with the Resurrection remix. I think that remix is better than the original song. And anytime a remix is better than the original song, that's saying something.
It ain't probably, it is.
It is, bro.
Hey, look, I don't want the swallowers to come after me. So that's why I'm allegedly.
No ID don't have swallowers yet.
Oh, so. All right, cool. No ID. Well, nah, this Large Pro.
Oh, no. But Resurrection, the original, was No ID.
Yes. No ID.
Better.
He just didn't do it for me, man. But Large Pro, Resurrection remix, yeah.
All right, no doubt. Tone, who's on your deets here, man?
All right, man. Buck Wild for me. Man, you know, I like Time's Up. It's probably my favorite song about Buck Wild, but of course I got a story to tell and Whoa and a bunch of other shit. So, I mean, Buck Wild is underrated, man. Dude got some major hits.
Yo, that's another joint. I don't know if cats still know what Whoa is to this day. That's one of those samples that I think cats still don't ever find. Yeah, Whoa, dope song.
Yeah, that joint came out of nowhere. High Tech, man, what he did on that Black Star album was amazing. I think my favorite joint is Respiration. It's just a perfect hip hop song and a perfect hip hop beat. The lyrics went well with the beat. It's crazy. Of course, Reflection Eternal. That first joint is a classic to me.
Yeah, the Train of Thought.
Train of Thought is one of the best albums I've ever heard personally.
Yo, another joint for that. To jump in here real quick. The Blast was crazy. And what I loved about the Blast, a lot of people notice he used Boogie Nights. He filtered out Boogie Nights. That part with the Boogie Nights. Whoa. He filtered that, and that's the Blast. Because you hear him kind of open it for a second, and I was just like, damn, I would have never known that. So yeah, High Tech.
I'm gonna have to listen to that shit. I never caught that.
Yeah. Listen to when High Tech is rhyming on the second part. He opens it up for like a couple of seconds, and you could hear it. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. My bad, Tom.
No, you good, man. And of course, like we spoke, Kill, but not to be biased, I'm gonna go. My third pick is gonna be Ninth. The reason why, the reason why, because I'm real big on producers that do entire projects.
Right.
And the Listening and the Minstrel Show are great projects. But that MERS 316 is dope.
Yeah, man. Y'all clown me on that. That MERS.
Nah, I'm not clowning you on it. I clown you on MERS, the way he looks.
I'm telling you, man.
He said the way
MERS correct, though.
I'm a visual learner. So when I see some nigga keep on the tree out his head, you are automatically like get pushed on that side. Same thing. I ain't like Drake. I'm like, no, you like
that's how cats was when they looked at Sid from the internet, and then when that bug opened her mouth, they was like, "Oh shit, my bad." I'm telling you, don't sleep on MERS.
Cover, man.
Yeah.
Stop hating on Quick on that Rhythmalism cover.
Right? He still got a perm though.
He might have burned it. It might have damaged his hair, so I don't know. That shit damaged your hair after a while.
My bad. So what else you got, man?
Yeah, you right. But the two songs I like is a joint called No Future with Buckshot. Very dope track. And the last song on the Minstrel Show is called We Got Now.
Yeah. That's
Ski. And I went to UNCG. I'm in North Carolina, so we used to holler at Ski all the time back in the day. He used to be in Greensboro a lot. And, he was making joints for Jay and everybody back then, but he was a real down to earth dude, man. But the Camp Low joints are crazy. My favorite joint is Cream of the Planet. The joint he did with Mos Def.
Most joint that didn't make that 24-hour karate school.
Yeah, that shit's stupid, man. The Beat Miners, of course. Enter the Stage, man. The Shining, man. Help Nocturne, all that. I mean, I like the Stand Strong joint on Smith and Wesson. The
That's
Shining.
my shit. Yeah, Stand Strong is my shit.
Yeah, Stand Strong, PNC. I mean, Beat Miners got some heat. Crisis, man, from Crisis from Jersey, but he
yes, sir.
Spent a lot of time up, of course, down here in school and everything with Pat and them, Knife and them. But yeah, I look at Crisis kind of like Knots, real clean drums, man. He just a dope ass beat maker. You know what I'm saying? Like real clean with it, man. So, and he got this joint he did with Gene Gray way back in the day called Number 8. I don't know if you ever heard that joint he did for Gene Gray.
Gene Gray album was tough.
That shit's stupid. So yeah, those round mine up.
All right, no doubt. Real quick on that, man. I'm glad you brought that up. This is a very dope album. Ski Beats 24. Now, not this version because some of the samples couldn't get cleared, but I got the OG version. It's crazy. This got the Cream of the Planet on there, the Cream of the Planet instrumental. My shit off of here was Taxi, the joint he did for Most Hussein.
Yeah, that's dope too.
I like that one.
Crazy. This joint's a very dope album, man. All right, Veg, what you got to bring us home, man?
All right, I got a High Tech, Black Star, Flexion Eternal, High Technology series, Dope Beat Maker. My favorite beat he probably made it's probably The Blast, because that to me, listening to Reflection Eternal was one thing, but I felt like once I heard like The Blast, I felt like he was just going on another level with his production, even though Kill wouldn't let him talk on the mic. Pharrell, I got Pharrell. Hold up. What the hell? I got Pharrell. Mainly because like originally with Pharrell, I always used to feel like, can he make some hard hip hop stuff? And then he came out with the Clips and Grinding, and I really dug how it was hard, but it wasn't typical. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a typical sound. It was a very unique sound to him, and it kind of gave the Clips a very unique sound. To have them put together, some dope music. And Grinding is probably my favorite, even though on the radio they played it to death. I was living in BMO at the time, and I mean, my God, they played that record to death. But I couldn't complain, man. That beat just knocked, man. Especially being in the club around that time, like it was just crazy. I got Knots. I feel the same way that y'all felt about Knots. I feel he's very underrated. A lot of people don't even know who he is, don't know what he's done. My favorite beat he's made is Crumb Snatcher's Wolves off the Every Given Sunday soundtrack. I think that's what that was. I was hosting Strictly Hip Hop around that time, and I remember, I already knew Crumb Snatcher was dope, and I think Mobb Deep had a record on there, right, on that same soundtrack, something like that, or Outkast. Somebody had, and I obviously knowing whether it was Mobb Deep or Outkast, knowing them, I gravitated towards that. I knew Crumb Snatcher was nice. Hit play on that joint. That joint made me look and say, "Yo, who produced this joint?" And we played that to death. Beat Nuts, a group that I am not a fan of as rappers, but as producers, I've always loved their tracks. My favorite joint is No Escaping This. I love that joint. Every time I hear it, every time I hear it on like an old school mix, because it's one of them joints you forget about. Because you always hear Watch Out Now and what's the other one? Off the Books.
Off the Books.
But when somebody plays, usually like on Strictly Hip Hop's anniversary show, when they play No Escaping This, I'd be like, damn, I forgot how much I love that record. That's one of the records, I went and bought. Just hearing it being played one day, like, man, I need to own that. No ID. Probably my favorite track from him is I Used to Love Her, because that was one of the first records that made me really like Common, not only because of the concept of the record. I just love the whole vibe of that beat. You know what I'm saying? It's real jazzy and melodic, but it's still hip hop. It feels like maybe Common told him the concept to the song before he made the beat, so he kind of made it feel like a love story. You know what I'm saying? The way the track plays out.
Yeah.
And it's just perfect, man. It's just one of them classic joints. As soon as you hear it, man, it's pure nostalgia for anybody who's, a kid or adult or whatever back then into hip hop. And lastly, I got the Beat Miners, man. Boot Camp, man, like all that stuff y'all saw in them videos, man, that's how Brooklyn looked back then. Everybody, myself included, you know what I'm saying? Overly sized clothes, fatigued out, you know what I'm saying? Nobody looked like they took a bath, even though I did, but we just looked dirty, you know what I'm saying? And just the samples they chose for some of the tracks, from jazz samples to what was that Barry White joint? Just the whole vibe they brought with the production. My favorite track by them is probably Soundboy Burial, which was produced by Mr. Walt. But that's another track. That's not a dance record, but back then that joint was in every club and every mix. And like y'all was saying earlier, it wasn't just guys getting up off the wall and like, yo, this is my shit. It was the girls too. Girls would be spitting the verses also. That record was infectious. You know what I'm saying? Smith & Wesson did their thing. Mr. Walt did his things with the track. Another record that's like, I'm from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, but I was born in Crown Heights, which has a heavy Caribbean population. Some of that's in my family as well. So that sound and that sample and all of that, that just was a real Brooklyn type track as far as that section of Brooklyn, like the Crown Heights section of Brooklyn, where, most of these cats either live in or live around. But yeah, man, Beat Miners was my last one for that tip.
All right, no doubt. Just want to talk about real quick some people like Damn Kill. You left them out. I personally didn't do the Neptunes or the Timbo thing. Whenever I think of them, I think of more R&B producer than hip hop. So just for cats who may be watching and wondering, damn, why didn't they get named? That's why. And for just one of my criteria in being a producer that have to make this list is you got to do a whole project. And Just has never done a whole project. People over the weekend were tweeting at me like, what about the Saigon joint? It's 18 songs on Psy's album. Just did 8. Nick said, what about the Freeway album? Almost doesn't count. Brandy told y'all niggas that. 13. The whole fucking album for me, because to me there's a big ass difference. And again, trust me, Just Blaze got heat. I just put out my Just Blaze and the Blazette mixtape. I love Just Blaze, but it's just something for me. All these cats I'm naming, that was like almost like a rites of passage, you know, in my era, that you got to produce a whole album. You know, there's a big difference between giving somebody Breathe, like he did for Fab, which is probably my fave, Just Be, and then being able to produce a whole album for somebody. You know what I mean? There's a lot, I won't name no names because I don't want people to say I'm dissing them, because I really like them, but there are producers who I've seen like do 1 or 2 songs here and there on the album. And I used to say, damn, man, why don't they do more? Then they did more, and I'm like, yeah, go back and doing 1 or 2 songs on the album. You know what I mean? Like, that's your lane. Everybody is not built to produce a whole entire album. So that's why I just didn't make it. And just FYI for cats out there, if you're on IG, listen, follow Notch. You will always be pleasantly surprised every day. I mean, this dude must post 6-7 beats every day. I'm trying to keep up with him, posting like 1 beat a day. He doing like
5-6 a day.
But keep in mind, that's probably that nigga's only job. I gotta go work 9 to 5. So you know, that's the difference right there. Be happy I can give y'all 1 a day. And then also the Heat Makers, man. The Heat Makers, I know people look at them as like a broke Just Blaze or whatever like that.
Nah, Heat Makers got heat.
Makers got some heat. They working on the new Diplomat reunion album. I'm letting y'all know, man. Shit sounds crazy. Like I ain't even no Diplomat fan. I've never been a Jim Jones, Joel. I like Cam, but yo, this stuff that I'm seeing on their Instagram page, yo, I'm sitting here anticipating a Diplomat reunion album. I ain't never say that day in my life, but that's just
Diplomat cats.
Where the music is. Tone, let them know everything where they can get at you, the website, Into the Dome, and everything, good brother.
Yeah, just intothedome.com, Twitter, also at Into the Dome, IG, Tony Haynes the Dome. So just check me out, man. The Dome is everywhere.
No doubt. DJ Rec One, where can they get at you?
Man, Twitter is at DJ Rec One. Instagram is Worldwide Rec One. For the mixes that's up currently, SoundCloud, JRec1. Get those quick because I'm working on a website right now. So if you go up there and you don't see them, it'll push you to the website. So
no doubt. Veg, where can I get at you, good brother?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Vegas World INC. You can check out my podcast, Hip Hop Now Podcast, available on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, everywhere, and SoundCloud.com/Hip Hop Now Podcast.
Ain't no doubt. What about you, Vern?
Instagram, VE Channel 10, and what's the other one? Twitter, V Channel 10.
All right, no doubt. You already know this with me, Kill 889, Twitter, IG. We'll make beats for food. Yo, if anybody out there is in the DMV, February 24th, we're doing another live episode of Apartment 5B. Cats hadn't had a chance to check it. The one we did last month with Bananas. Grap was there. Grap Lover, youngest soul brother, my man DJ Iran. Jace and JR was up there. We chopped it up about the dopest hip-hop remixes, B-sides, and exclusives. You already know if Grap was up there. There's some crazy stories about who came through the basement and versions and stuff. And Grap's iPhone is like a fucking treasure chest. Like at the broadcast, like he was like, "Oh, let me play all this." And so, very dope episode. We getting the crowd up. We had the MP out there. Cats was making beats. It's a very dope hip hop vibe to it. Got a couple special guests. I don't want to say their name until I confirm them, that are coming out this month. But definitely, if you're in the DMV, check that out. Saturday, February 24th at the American Poetry Museum in DC. As always, y'all, I appreciate y'all time and effort. I'm so glad that Ninth made some people's tears. Because you don't want people saying, "Oh, Kill, you just got a whole bunch of niggas who don't like Ninth just like you." So thank God that Ninth made the tier. Even if it was the last tier, he made it, y'all. So I just want to thank y'all for that.
I mean, shit, it is.
It's going to be hella high water if Ninth ain't make nothing. Like, got a whole bunch of Ninth haters like you. So, and again, Ninth, I'm not a hater, man. I love your stuff. I think you're dope. And he probably wouldn't even put himself up there with Dilla too. He seems like a very humble dude. So, you know, I know a lot of times some of these swallowers put people in position. They don't even be there at themselves, you know, and got to tell their fans to fall back. Like, yo, it's cool. Like, it's an opinion. It's all.
He wouldn't, dog.
What's that?
I said he wouldn't. He wouldn't put himself up there.
Oh, he's saying what you're saying. He's saying what you're saying.
Yeah,
right.
That's my man. That's facts. He wouldn't do that.
And again, that's where I just want people to get that, you know, it's okay in 2018 to be like, he wouldn't be my number one pick. Like, if you don't take, if you're a GM and you take somebody with number 3 pick, it's not that bad. Like, it's not a bad thing. But nowadays, if you ain't the number 1 pick, then your career.
Yeah, that's it. Like, nobody won't fuck with you.
And that's not what I'm saying. There's nothing like that. To be honest with you, Knife probably has my favorite joint on Dan. He has my favorite joint on Anderson .Paak's album. Knife has had a couple of my favorite joints on a couple of albums. You know, so
check his work with GQ.
Who's GQ?
GQ played for North Carolina a couple years ago. There's a rapper on Jamla. Dope.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, see, I didn't know. I thought you was watching. I thought you was watching.
I seen your face. Your face was like, is he looking at magazines? Like, what the fuck?
I'm like, yo, you just watch Juice or something? Like, you know, like
He's from Oakland.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know that. And something else, man. And I know I've told y'all, but man, y'all know what I'm loving right now, man? That Conway GOAT album, man.
Yeah.
I'm loving that, man. And I understand the beats. That dude, what's his name? I forgot his producer's name, Derringer. He ain't the most, you know, technical. Like, the beats ain't gonna be flying all over the place. But lyrically, yo, man, I love Conway, man. I love Conway. And even on there, Royce Rip said, even Lloyd Banks kills a verse. I ain't never liked Lloyd Banks. But you know what? I always like Banks when he gets with hip hop dudes. I didn't really like the G Unit Lloyd Banks, but like on the Joe Budden posse cut, you know, Remember the Titans, like, you know, so yeah, I was shocked though. But Lloyd Banks kills it. Royce is on there. It's some stuff on there, man. Some stuff on there. So
Lloyd Banks, Halloween.
Yeah, I like that Lloyd. Halloween Havoc Lloyd when he was on that mixtape game. Heavy.
That dude's nice. He's extremely underrated.
All right.
Extremely underrated.
Yeah.
All right. We may need to do that show. Extremely underrated.
Hey, real quick.
What's up, Tom?
Real quick, y'all be on the lookout, man. Elzai's doing an album with Crisis.
Yes.
If you go to Elzai and Crisis Instagram and listen to that first damn song, that little snippet.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.
I'm telling you, it's about to be insane.
Yes. Or check OK Player. It's on there.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta check that out. All right, good people. I will check y'all next week, man.
Hey, y'all checked out The Shy?
Yeah.
It's a show. That show on Showtime. You know, my man, Rick Fumiyama, the one who did The Wood, who did Dope. He's behind it, bro. It's a dope show. Yeah.
No doubt. All right, y'all. Next week, y'all.
All right.
Peace.